Home by Another Way is Advent in the light of COP, and we begin with Jeremiah 33:14, followed by the testimony of James Bhagwan from Fiji at COP26 in Glasgow. The days are surely coming, says God, when I will cause a righteous branch to spring up for my beloved, a branch who shall execute justice and righteousness in the land.
Reverend James Bhagwan, on behalf of faith-based organizations.
The climate emergency is the result of an ethical, moral, and spiritual crisis manifested in a fixation on profit. The extractive and ultimately unsustainable systems of production and consumption by those complicit in this crisis continue to ignore increasing scientific and moral warnings. Those who have contributed to this crisis the least suffer the most, physically, existentially, and ecologically. This is an injustice that must end, calling us to respond with the knowledge of science and the wisdom of spirituality. Our interconnectedness to this common home forces us into a radical solidarity across gender and generation for climate justice for all. In this spirit, wealthier countries must lead in reducing their own emissions and in financing emission reductions of poorer nations. They must put into action a mechanism for loss and damage with additional funds. Love calls us to seek climate justice and restoration. It calls us to respect the rights of indigenous peoples, to protect them and their ancestral domains from predatory economic interests, and to learn from their ancient wisdom. Indigenous spirituality can restore our understanding of interdependence between land, ocean, and life, between generations before us and the ones to come. Love calls us to a transformation of systems and lifestyles. This transition away from fossil fuel-based economies must be just, securing livelihoods and well-being for all and not just some. We have heard many commitments in this place. Words have power, but only when they are manifested into action. The fate of the planet depends on it. Naka.